Hello guys, my name is Veronica and I'm here with a new Christmas tutorial for you. I am painting poinsettia Christmas card in this video. It will be step-by-step real-time tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy it and check out my other Christmas card tutorials. Please like, comment and subscribe. Let's get to painting. So I'm drawing some poinsettias. Here center has kind of berry looking circles and the petals going this way, that, here and there. It's like a star. Freehand, just intuitive. Some leaves are larger. And the top ones go between and smaller. So that's pretty much it. And maybe one going that way. And another one will be here. It's gonna be cropped, so you just divide it like you draw a star or snowflake. One line going across, another going across, and diagonal. So you have the approximate composition, and this leaf is gonna be larger. This one, for example, larger, and this one going to be under these two. Another one going on top, smaller. This one larger, going that way. This one also a little bit this direction, and maybe one smaller here and another smaller between this. That's it. That's a poinsettia. And the leaves, so I want to do kind of abstractish. It's going to be a leaf here, probably here. I'm going to paint loose. Okay, that's gonna be green. That's it. That will be good for now. And in this painting, I want to use different technique today. I'm not gonna wet entire paper. I will use my spray bottle and just spray it. So I have like mist and I have some splatters. I will start with red. And that's cadmium red light, and I will be adding the alizarin crimson. I will start with poinsettias, and I will even add some yellow. So I'm avoiding the center for these kind of looking berries, and I will paint them because I want them light. So, and see what happens. So I have some areas where the paint bleeds more, and some areas it's more like wet on dry. And if I want wet little more in some of the petals, I'll just do it, because I want to have different effect. So I want to use my cadmium yellow, and some areas have that yellow in the petals. So I'll go ahead to this one as well. Just do like this, so it's gonna add some light into the petals. Now I'm going back to red and painting red. Then I'm gonna be creating the shadows. And the smaller will be at the top and larger at the bottom. And this one, for example, it's gonna have darker. And the top petals will be lighter. But now I don't really worry about it. I want them all bright red, and we'll be adding darker later. So I want to have nice pigment. So I want this one to be a little bit more loose than the front flower. So I'm gonna just add more and bleed more. And I like that loose edges. And I'm gonna be painting with my undersea green today. And it's gonna be right from the tube by Daniel Smith. It's a great green color. And I will also be using subgreen, which is lighter, brighter green, also by Daniel Smith. And I will mention the paint I use in the description. And I'm gonna add the links for all of them. So this one is undersea green. It's a beautiful green. And check it out. Nice. Loose. So I'm just going in between carefully. If it bleeds a little bit with red, don't worry about it. It's gonna look great because I want that loose. Even here, I like it. Control it, but don't over control it. So this is it, and I'm gonna show you how the sap green looks. It's brighter green, and I just want to add a little bit. So it's a nice, fresh, and still natural looking green. And I told you guys before, my another favorite is perylene green. This one a lot darker than the other two. And let's add this one. So, and my paint is still wet. I'm just going in my darkest where the leaves start. At the edges they're gonna be lighter, so I like that nice bleeding effect. Still controlling it, but not too much. I have green bleeding into red here, and just some spots here. I'll probably splatter. So I want to add a little bit of yellow, so my light one here, and use tiny bit of splatters here. Okay, checking the reds. Can add more, start building more while it's still wet. So these leaves are under, so I want that area darker. It's gonna be in the shadow. So I still don't worry about details yet. And this is alizarin crimson. That one will be darker. So this one just completely bleeding into the flower, the green one. I'll probably tap a little bit. I'm gonna tap with paper towel and add that red on top. and it looks nice. It's bleeding with the red, but it's still, you can see it's a flower, and it's abstractish, which I like. So this one gonna be darker. The top, smaller leaves, gonna be lighter. And I'll just add some darker here as well. And I feel this one. And I'm gonna clean my brush and tap it on paper towel and remove by creating some highlight already. So the top leaves will have already that nice highlight. I'll do same here. You see the top smaller leaf, so it will have a highlight. This one I want to add it. It gets the texture, gets the highlight, and even the bottom I'll just go and add a little bit. And I like how my yellow shows through that red now. And I'll probably remove a little bit here. And I'm just looking and checking. Looking pretty good. So if you want to go with your darker green, you can add some now. So the leaves showing through the petals. Just intuitively paint. Add those greens. Yeah. And I want to have some darker here so it balances. So you have a balance between your darks. And maybe a dot here. Yeah, I like it. So I think I'm gonna remove some here. Oops, I had some green on my brush. Okay, not the best idea. Okay, clean. Okay, let's add here. Okay, I'm gonna let it dry and add details, probably veins in the petals, and I'll finish the center. I think I want to go with my red already now and just go around this kind of berry looking like circles in the inside of poinsettia. It's like seeds or yeah, something like that. So I'm leaving them white for now. I'm just continuing the petals. Yeah, and this one, and I'll probably add a little bit purple because I want them to stand out more. So if I add purplish, really like burgundy probably color around those seeds, they will pop better, and the centers will look. They'll have some 3D looking feel. Yeah, let's add, probably indigo will work into that red. Yeah, I'm gonna let it mix on the paper. Yeah, you see I'm just going around them, around, avoiding the white, and that indigo blends in with my red and creating that nice shadow under those seeds or berries. And I'll even gonna pull a little bit towards the petals. Okay, I'll let it dry for now and add more details when they're dry. All right, this layer of my reds and greens is dry, and now I'm gonna add some darker red values. So I'm using my permanent alizarin crimson. And I'm gonna mix in some indigo, just a tiny bit. So I have nice burgundy purplish, and I'm gonna go around the petals to create that shadow. So the top petals will stand out. So more red going around, going in between, and I also adding another layer of that dark red shadow around the center, the circles, and the center pops more. And later I will fill it up with kind of yellowish greenish color, but they're still gonna be lighter. And I will start painting the veins. Top to bottom, I paint with broken line. Top. I think I'm gonna go with a little bit of cadmium red light on top. Yeah, I think it needs some color. Yeah, it looks much better now. Still leaving those highlights. And I'm even gonna add some yellow because I want a nice bright red. In some areas, so I'm just gonna tap in some areas for my different value of red, and same in this flower. Cleaning brush, tapping on paper towel and just pulling it, and lightly touching with that orange. Clean brush and tapping. Going back to my darkest, some dark blue, so I have a nice purpley like burgundy. So here I have pretty good amount of shadow. Here I want to add a little bit of more. More red. Going in between. Same here, going between petals. adding darker for the shadow. Yeah, just like that. Now cleaning my brush, tapping on paper towel so it's nice and damp, and just pulling that color toward the edge from the center to this direction. Go here, same, creating that shadow, cleaning my brush, tapping and pulling away. Now I will wait for this to dry and add final details. And here I'm going to use my number 4 Princeton Neptune liner brush, and I'll paint the veins. Everything is dry now, so I'll just add in some petals, not all of them. So I'm doing like a broken line kind of thing. I don't want to add too many details. I still want it to look loose, but I feel some petals will look nice with more details. Going diagonal. Smaller at the tip. A little bit here and there. Broken line. And same on this one. I can even try to mix in some cadmium red with my bright red and see. Darker, lighter. A little bit here. And maybe on larger ones too. So I'm just intuitively adding veins and some lines without overdoing it. Now I'm gonna take my cadmium yellow, mix it with bright green, and I want to add some tiny details. It's too wet with my damp brush. Leave those white highlights and create that pop-up green. So here's a close-up look of what I'm doing. Yeah, you see that bright green? Yeah, that's what I want. Let's go to that flower as well. Just going around these circles, leaving white highlights. Boom. Nice pop. And I want to use the same green and add some bright green veins in my leaves as well. And I'll just go with some lines all kind of outline, broken line here, some veins. A little bit here. So I'm just intuitively picking the leaves where I want to add more details, more like funky outline and details. Some here. Okay, and I think this one was too much. I'm gonna take my brush and I'm gonna lift some outline in some areas. So using my clean damp brush, I think I wanna smudge this one. And I'm gonna just drop that green, so but not that, I don't like that too much of outliney detail, just more abstract looking. Same here, I want to just kind of break that obvious outline. And that's it. I'm just tapping some light green, creating kind of abstractish feel, maybe here and there. I wanted to add snow. Okay, let's do that. Gonna use my larger brush and add these snowflakes. Create the snowflakes with white gouache. Gonna take pencil to tap. Want a thicker, nice and thick white. Tap, 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 tap. And I like how that snow looks on red flowers. And even here it's bleeding with my green, but I like that effect. Okay, that should be enough. And look how pretty it looks. Maybe some touches with that gouache. Just a little bit. So I'm going with my deep red and adding a little bit of shadows. And with my clean brush, dragging it and blending it with the rest of the petals. Same here. Just tiny bit. Shadow. Cleaning brush and dragging it away. I've decided to add some magic, and I will be using my metallic gold watercolor and splattering around the painting. It's super easy and fun. Here is my final work, and I'm very happy with the result. It has beautiful textures of the watercolor and those pretty gold metallic splatters. I hope it was an inspiring tutorial for you and you guys gonna try to paint it. I will mention all the details in the description with the supplies I used. Leave your comments below the video. I will be happy to read it and assist you with your masterpiece if you have any questions. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys, and join my Patreon for more tutorials and extras.